What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I'm LotusAsakura, the one who never knows best, and today bring you my review for episode 6 of Dragon Ball Daima. As you know, in the last episode we left off with Pansy, Glorio, and Goku taking off on a new plane that they received and basically setting off on a journey to gather the Dragon Balls. However, the episode ended with basically their ship malfunctioning and then presumably crash landing, and that is exactly as the episode starts, with their ship malfunctioning and then crash landing. Apparently because Pansy packed the ship too full of cargo. Apparently she felt like they needed a ton of different emergency supplies and medical things and towels and toilet paper. And you know what's funny is like she's listing off all these things that she packed, and I was like, most of them seem pretty reasonable or whatever. And then she said toilet paper, and I was like, I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense, but it's like, I don't think Dragon Ball characters have ever acknowledged toilet paper once ever. And I was like, it just kind of like caught me off guard just a little bit, because it's like you just don't really think about characters using toilet paper in Dragon Ball. Like you hope that they are, but it's just never been acknowledged before. And then they crash land and Goku's like, yeah, I need to poo. And I guess that made the toilet paper relevant. I didn't expect that to actually come into play, but mere seconds later it actually did. So then Goku of course asks her for some, and she launches it at his face, and then he runs off into a bush to go use the bathroom. Meanwhile, an enemy plane from the army or the military or whatever you want to call them, right, comes searching through the area, and they're actually looking for Goku. We don't know that until they land, and Goku's obviously off hiding in a bush because he's in the bathroom. But they question like, hey, what are you, because talking to Supreme Kai, Glorio, and Pansy, what are you three doing together? Where are you from? Why don't you two got collars? And then Pansy actually reveals that beneath her scarf, she actually has one of those collars that the villagers had, that they were getting their life force stolen from. You remember last episode, the episode before that? Didn't realize that she would have one of those on under there. Now I kind of want to go back and see if the king was also wearing one, because Pansy's a princess and I just didn't expect her to actually have one of those on. You know what I mean? And I know like her dad's not like a king like in the same way that Goma is, but I didn't really see that coming. But yeah, then you know the Kai and Glorio say that, yeah, we're from this world, I'm from that world, and Pansy shows that she's got a collar, and they get questioned like, what are y'all doing together? It's kind of suspicious, but whatever, make sure y'all stay in line. Hey, y'all ain't seen a kid with some pointy hair and a red stick, have you? And of course they lie and then say no. And then the two soldiers, I guess, let's just say the two soldiers kind of let them off, and then they jump back in their plane and they leave. And then shortly after Goku returns, like, hey, what's all that about? And they're like, hey, you lucky you was over there, because apparently you're a wanted man now. Of course, Goku's not concerned whatsoever, but yeah, we already knew that was going to happen. Once they all settle back onto the ship and take off yet again, we get some more lore about, you know, demons and the demon realm and Kai and the Glins. And Supreme Kai starts telling us about the Glins and how they're all born from the tree, and how there's 5 different Glin trees. And upon like hearing this, Goku's like, oh, so you're kind of like a plant then. And Supreme Kai goes, I mean, not exactly, but then Goku mentions like, yeah, you also like don't eat, you just like drink liquids, which I guess isn't that like weird or foreign of a concept, because Piccolo's the same way. Like Namekians don't eat either, they just drink water. Which, are Namekians plant people? Sort of, kind of, I get, I don't, well, they're, no, but I could see why Goku would say that. I don't know, maybe they're green because of the chlorophyll in their skin. Who knows? I didn't think about it till now. But yeah, and then Supreme Kai begins to tell us about, you know, how the Glins all left to go to Earth and everything like that. And Pansy asks how come his brother Degisu didn't go with him. And he basically says that Degisu was like ambitious and didn't really get along with others, and then Adansu also just kind of was doing her own thing. And then he also goes on to say that Kais don't actually have a gender, like there are no men and women, which to me didn't make a lot of sense, because there's very clearly a distinction between Adansu and a character like Supreme Kai, or even, you know, Degisu. Like there's just a couple of things kind of setting her apart that make a very clear distinction between herself and her brothers. I don't know, just a couple of things that just kind of stand out to me that are just very apparent. Yeah, I mean, but whatever, no actual gender roles, I guess, which again, very similar to Namekians, because Namekians, there are no men or women, they're just Namekian. And we've never seen a Namekian either that looks like they even resemble anything close to women. Like Namekians all look like males, I guess, technically, but they're really genderless, so I guess they don't look, you know what I'm trying to say. It's weird that Kai says that, but it's whatever. We just gonna ride on past it. Oh, we also learned that the third demon world actually has 2 suns, which is noteworthy, I guess, because Goku looks out the window and says that, hey, it's still pretty light out even though it's nighttime, and it's like, yeah, we have 2 suns here, so it's just kind of like that. More lore, I guess, more world building. And then eventually the crew decides that they need a place to crash for the night, but there's no hotels around, so Gloria says, hey, we'll just find a nice cave and we'll make do there. And that is exactly what they do. They find a nice cave, build a fire, get them some grub, and then try to get some sleep for the night. However, once everybody settles in and everybody falls asleep, everyone except Glorio, that is, Glorio wanders off on his own, secretly, and goes outside to the edge of a cliff. And he is communicating with somebody on the other end. And who is it? None other than Dr. Arensu herself. As I suspected, as you guys probably also suspected, he is secretly working with Arensu. Now, we don't really get a whole lot of detail as to what they got going on, what the plan is, whether it's good or bad, evil or not. But they're working on something, and according to them, everything is going according to plan. It's a smooth operation so far. So they are in cahoots, as I thought, as you probably thought as well. Don't think that was too hard to theorize about, you know what I mean? Arensu and Glorio are working together in some capacity. What are they working on? I don't know, but I'm very much looking forward to it. I knew Arensu was going to come back into play in some form or fashion, and I figured it had something to do with Glorio. However, when Glorio sneaks back into the cave and then goes back to his sleeping bag or whatever, Supreme Kai hits one of these. He was awake. He was secretly awake, and he's been suspicious of Glorio from the jump, so he takes note of this, obviously, and he doesn't mention it or bring it up at any point during this episode, but I'm sure at some point he'll be like, hey, Goku, by the way, Glorio snuck off the other night. He was talking with somebody. I don't know what they were talking about, but you know what I mean? Keep your eye on that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already know that's got to be coming, obviously, eventually, right? But anyway, while they're all about to try to get some sleep, well, I guess they were already sleeping, or Pansy and Goku, the only ones really sleeping. Glorio and Supreme Kai was awake, but a monster shows up deep in the cave, starts shaking the whole cave with every step that he takes, and they smell him from a mile away because apparently he's very smelly. And they make it seem like he's so big, bad, and tough, and he pulls up, and like Supreme Kai and like Gloria's like freaking out, like, hey, yo, we gonna have to, everybody wake up right now, hurry up, skedaddle, let's get up out of here. And this monster turns out to be a Minotaur who threatens to eat all of them. And when Goku wakes up, he's like, hey, look, it's a big cow. And then it turns into like more of a comedic relief moment where he's like, I'm not a cow, I'm a Minotaur. And Goku's like, oh, that's a cool name. To which the Minotaur gets a little flattered and starts blushing. It's like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? Tight shit, like shit. It's just the way God, baby, you feel me? And then it just completely like shifts the mood and tone of this scene. And Glorio's like, hey, we could take this shit outside for real though. Like you and me, mano y mano. And Goku's like, Glorio, maybe you should step to the side. Like, I got this. You ain't really cut out for this. And Glorio like takes some offense to this. Is like, you think I can't handle this? Like, you think you that much stronger than me? And Goku basically goes, yeah, the fuck? Like in a matter of words, he basically went like, yeah, like I don't know what you thought this was. I'm feeling the same way. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what on earth makes Glorio think he's anywhere near as strong as Goku, but you're probably not. Even if he is like shrunken down and can only go Super Saiyan 1 right now, like you just not really on that level, blood boy. If you were, you wouldn't have had to go find him in the first place, now would you? So naturally, they end up dueling each other, and the Minotaur just comically becomes a bystander on the sidelines, just watching this go down. Now, this is where we get some action. Glorio and Goku start fighting each other, and this shit was kind of lit. I ain't gonna lie to you. Goku starts us off by saying, "I'll fight you with one arm behind my back," which is OD disrespectful, but likewise, like, it's Goku. Like, yeah, he probably could have fought him with 2 fingers and it would have. Y'all remember when Trunks pulled up? Y'all remember when Trunks pulled up in the Namek saga, mind you? Trunks is a whole Super Saiyan who like easily took down Mecha Frieza, King Cold, and all their soldiers single-handedly in one fell swoop. After Goku just went toe to toe with him, like, and all these people died and everybody was struggling and everything, right? Y'all remember that happening? And then Trunks whips out his sword when Goku shows up from Planet Yardrat, and Goku is fending him off with one finger. One finger. Y'all remember that? You know how far removed we are from that at this point in Daima? Like even without getting into Super, you know how much further we are along? So what made Glorio think he stand a chance? I don't really know. But Goku fights him with one arm behind his back, is easily fending him off, dodging all of his attacks, backflip after backflip, you know what I'm saying, throwing some punches here or there, whatever. Light work, right? Then Glorio start taking this real serious, again, like getting real personal, and he puts a finger to the sky, you know what I'm saying? At first I thought he was about to fire off a supernova that looked like Frieza's blast that he used to like wipe out Planet Vegeta and all the Saiyans, and like when he killed Bardock. But it's his own unique type of magic blast. He throws it at Goku. Goku dodges, whatever. He takes to the sky. The Supreme Guy looks at that. He's like, hey, yo, Goku, do me a favor, take this fight a little bit more serious because I'm trying to see just how strong Glorio really is, to which I'm like, hell yeah, me too, Goku, turn it up because I want to see what type of power that nigga packing, you feel me? So Goku whips out the power pole and gets shit cracking. Starts doing all his whirls and twirls, thwack, hits Glorio with it like a baseball bat and sends him flying into a mountain. And then Glorio recovers, he shakes that off, whatever, and starts firing off all these magic blasts. Goku's bobbing, dodging, weaving, still like with ease, like having full control over this fight. But then Goku decides to kick it up a notch, and we get a really cool Super Saiyan transformation scene. And we knew it was curtains from then on. Goku goes Super Saiyan, and Glorio starts charging up this really powerful, like really dramatic, like magic blast, which by the way, the magic that he's using, Pansy says she's never seen anything like it. So what does that mean? Is that just because he's from a different demon world than her, or is there something even more special, unique about him? I don't really know, because he had like these, like basically it would just look like ki blasts, and like that's special to him, but like it didn't look like anything too crazy compared to what we've seen in Dragon Ball. But then he fires off these ones that are kind of like streams or beams or whatever, like from his fingertips, and then he had one that was kind of like a magic whip of some sort, but he fires off one that's like one big blast, right? Charging it up, and this nigga Goku. Yo, son. Goku finishes his Super Saiyan transformation. Glorio fires off with what has to be like his big ultimate blast, right? Son. So I thought he was just gonna deflect it or like easily like instant transmission behind him or whatever. He hit one at ease and just straight through the blast, and it dissipates, and Glorio's just like what, and then Goku tell instant transmission behind it. Well, it didn't like use actual instant transmission, might have just been him like moving at super speed because he's Super Saiyan now, so he's way stronger and faster. And he behind Glorio puts his hand to his back and goes, I win. And it was just like, that shit was so cold. Like it was honestly like a really, really cool scene where he just straight through the blast and just I don't know, I expected him to deflect it, but for some reason him like going like right point with it with his like with a chop or whatever you want to call it, and just that was way cooler than him dodging it or deflecting it to me. Like I don't know about you, but to me that shit was raw. Yeah, so that was the end of that. Everyone on the sidelines is obviously very impressed, including the Minotaur, who then tries to sneak off and go back to his cave, and then Goku's like, hey, so you want to fight now? And the Minotaur's like, yeah. I mean, if you want me to eat you that bad. Actually, you know what? I forgot. I already ate earlier, so I'm actually like kind of full. So I'm gonna just go off, and then his stomach growls really loudly. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna just go off to bed, you know what I mean? And he scampers back into his cave, and then that's pretty much the end of that. And then Goku tells Pansy that he again needs to use the bathroom and asks her for some toilet paper. She launches it at him again. And then the episode ends with us getting a look back on Kami's Lookout, where we have Bulma, Kibito, Piccolo, Popo, and Vegeta, who's training and lifting weights. And yeah, it looks like Bulma has fixed up the ship. They're all ready to take off. Kibito, Piccolo, and Vegeta all load up on the ship. They're about to take off. It malfunctions, they fall back to the ground, and that's basically where the episode ends. Bulma thought she fixed it, something malfunctions, they weren't actually able to return, or I guess, take off to the demon realm where Kibito was going to lead them, and eventually I guess try to meet up with Supreme Kai and Goku and everyone. So don't really know what went wrong there. That was a little bit of a tongue twister, try saying that 5 times fast. But yeah, it was a pretty good episode. I enjoyed it quite a lot. These episodes, they feel like they go by so fast, and I don't know if it's because I be watching them with the with the stream and everything like that, which by the way, I said it before, but I'll say it again. I do a little watch party on Twitch when I watch these episodes. Twitch.tv/LotusAsakura. Link is always in the description down below. I overslept a little bit today because, long story short, I got 2 hours of sleep, and then I was about 25-30 minutes late, something like that. But we better late than never, you know what I'm saying? But usually 1 p.m. Eastern on Friday is when the episodes drop. I go live and we watch it together, whatever. So if you want to pull up, feel free to do that. But anyway, yeah, man, we get a decent amount of like lore and like world building in each one of these episodes, and then we get a little bit of action, and it's pretty good formula that they got going on so far. So don't really know what this next episode entails. It's titled Collars, so I mean that's gonna come back into play. The next episode preview didn't give us a whole lot in terms of like what to really expect, so I don't know, but stay tuned. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit this video with a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, so you can stay tuned for all this content I'm bringing you. And with all it being said, it's pretty much all I have today, and remember, death can happen, see you swing the bat. Later.